It's finally here. Welcome to episode 1 of Rich But No Day Job.
It's your faves.
Aissatou.
And Senait.
Sit back.
Relax.
And enjoy some much needed
laughs, stories, and life lessons.
Money come, money go.
So let's discuss just how. Take 3.
Yikes. Yikes. Senait trying to expose us and shit. Yeah, y'all. 3rd time's the charm, okay? Mind your business.
What if we started it with a horror story about our first job? Just a quick one.
Like, okay. I feel like you start, though.
Okay, what was it, Trader Joe's?
Yeah, what's your first job horror story?
First job horror story, Trader Joe's. Let me think. Trader Joe's. I feel like not a lot happened. I guess you could say a horror story about Trader Joe's was just a creepy man. Well, there were many of them, but a creepy man one time. What was he doing? I don't think I should go. Cause
why?
I don't have the premise of what he said to me. All I know is he said something, and I spoke to the manager about it because she was having like one-on-one conversations. She was like, "If you ever need to tell me anything, feel free." Okay. I was like, "Let me just tell her." So I told her, but she was white, and so she took it seriously. I don't know.
What do you mean she's white? So she took it serious?
I feel like if it was a black manager, and I told him that, a black male manager at that, he would have just been like, "Oh, okay," but wouldn't have done to not done as much as a white woman.
Or like maybe like moved way slower about it. Yeah.
Not too like rigid about it. Like you need to stop. Like and had a conversation. I don't know. I feel like it would have been a little less serious. But he still worked there, but he just completely ignored me after that.
Good.
I was happy.
Good.
Happy.
I wish I had reported more people while I worked. Man, the one thing I regret is not reporting motherfuckers. Because niggas,
really?
I feel like Trader Joe's, they do be trying you. But you know what they'll do is, I feel like predators play this game of like, they'll say something small to you. Like, they'll just be like, "Oh, yeah, I live down the street." And it's just to see how you react to them saying something small like that. And then each time they'll just increase it slowly until you're fully being abused. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So it's just like the slick stuff was what got on my nerves. It was like, I'm standing there, you come up to me.
But it's also the continuous stuff, because they won't stop. Like, you'll give the impression that you're not feeling it, you're not happy, you're not interested, but they won't get the hint. They'll just keep going. Every time they come to work is a new opportunity. Like, it's just too much for me. They're annoying. I feel like we come to work. Nobody's trying to do all that.
Thank you. Preach, sister. I feel like, okay, so my first job, since it was Instacart, I feel like my biggest horror story was locking my keys in the car, honestly. Yeah, that was sickening. But guess what? This is why being broke sometimes is an advantage. Because that was at the time where I had that car where the driver's side window couldn't go all the way up or down, so it was broken. So there was a crack in my window. I just shimmied that bitch. What I did was I shimmied the thing down, and then you know those campaign signs they stick in the grass? Yeah. Like with 2 sticks? Yeah, I grabbed one of those and I stuck my hand in with the stick and then unlocked the door. But for a little minute there, I did panic because I was outside this Thai food place and I needed to go and stuff. And yeah, but luckily for me, I feel like the worst it could have gone was like getting in an accident mid-shift, or like with a car full of groceries, or like, you know, something like that could have happened to me, or running to somebody's house real quick and accidentally get run over, because you know it's DC, niggas be driving crazy.
On an Uber Eats order.
You got run over?
No, like an Uber Eats order. I was really late, and they told me like, your Uber driver got into an accident. They'll be a little bit late. Oh. And then I got my food like way later.
See, yeah, exactly. Some shit like that. That's so inconvenient, though. As a consumer, I would be so annoyed if my Uber Eats driver got into acting like, "Nigga, my food." Like, okay, yes, I hope you're okay, but like, god damn.
I was not happy, but I feel like I'm always getting my keys stuck in my car. But then I feel like it just always works out where somebody helps me.
You do get your keys stuck in your car a lot.
All the time.
Yes, Senait.
But
to the point where it's just like, girl, like, is everything okay?
now I feel like I have stress. I'm always like, where's my key? Where's my key? So it doesn't happen. I'm lying. It happened like 2 months ago.
It wasn't that long. I was like, girl, it wasn't that long ago. It was right here too. I'm like, what was something like good, like exceptionally randomly good that happened to you at your first job? Did you have anything like that?
The best part about Trader Joe's was I liked talking to the people, and at the Rockville one there was always like older people that had a lot of experience. So I feel like for me, every day was the same. I just came on the weekends. But what I really enjoyed was there would just be some days where I'll talk to some woman and like an old woman or old man, and they'll give me like just like a wisdom or connections or like an opportunity. They'll be like, oh yeah, you like to do this and that, and oh I do this. You can come do this. I'll give you this information. And especially at that age, I was mad excited. I was like, oh, great.
One thing about you at that age, you did used to like being up on things. I mean, you still are like that to this day, but like you were, guys, like I'm like, oh God, what happened? Because you was also physical whenever you had something exciting. So I'm like, oh God, I'm about to get punched. I'm about to get punched in the arm. And this girl, just because she's fit, she thinks that she's like this weak, meek girl, but the bitch is strong. The bitch be in the weight room. I'm like, ow, God damn.
But yeah, I was very physical. People complained a bit, but I kept doing it.
People complained a bit, but okay. So for me, the biggest positive, like, good thing that would happen to me, when I would, for my first job, Instacart, was when people would either not answer the door or cancel their orders, and I already had the groceries.
You did that?
Yeah, it would be like
so foul. Why would you do that after like hours?
Hours of what?
Or like 30 minutes after you placed your order? And it said that, don't they tell them that somebody's doing your order?
Yeah, exactly. So then I would come and maybe they wouldn't answer the door, or they wouldn't be answering, or they would just randomly cancel or something like that. But now I already have the groceries in my hand. So it's like, now they're mine because the grocery store is not going to take them back. Instacart will pay me still too for all the work. And when I would come home, my mom loved it because she'd be like, what you bring home today?
So that's a blessing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That was the good like thing that would happen to me at work. Like that was the one thing I could sometimes look forward to about work, you know. Because my mom would always be like, as soon as I come home, especially because I only shopped at Whole Foods, so anything I got was a bit pricey, was a bit like, you know, you're not gonna just always buy certain things. So it was just like, sometimes I'll come home with a full steak, like
wow, your mom must be so happy.
Like all types of things. I'll come back with random shit like goat cheese, goddamn shrimp, like.
So interesting. This barely happened to me.
But you know me, the thing is I move through my orders quick. So if you don't come, I go. And Instacart will always still pay me because I tried. You didn't answer. Oh, but I won't try for more than like 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes of my time.
But can't you just leave it at the door?
That depends though. If they left instructions not to, you can't.
Oh.
Because then it's going to be on your like thing if something happens. So it's like, but I would never leave until Instacart told me it was okay to leave.
I wonder if you did Instacart again recently, if the business would be the same.
No, it's trash. I tried to. Once Whole Foods was gone, it was like the business was gone. It's trash, man. It's garbage.
So what do people at Whole Foods, like, what is it called? Amazon what
Amazon Prime? I don't know. It's this Amazon is connected to Whole Foods. It's Amazon Whole Foods.
Oh, okay. So they have like Prime shoppers.
Yeah, exactly. They have Prime shoppers. They have people who go and deliver Prime food. Like the people at work.
Those Starbucks. Second job was much better than my first. I feel like I enjoyed my stay there just because it was a lot less manual labor, and I enjoyed Starbucks to begin with. And also the reason why
you do love you some Starbucks, and I will go to Starbucks every day. Like, oh my God, I can't drink Starbucks like y'all.
But I think the reason why I left was because I hated Trader Joe's, and at Trader Joe's, a few of the crew members started leaving to work at Starbucks, and they seemed overjoyed. I was like, I need to leave because they'll come back and they'll shop at Trader Joe's and tell me, yeah, yeah, girl, like, it is amazing. I get paid better. Da-da-da-da-da. I was like, okay, so we're gonna leave. But then I went to a college store. Tips are non-existent at the college store.
Yeah, who tipping you? Not me. Not me.
But I enjoyed just like, because mind you, back when I worked at Trader Joe's, my favorite thing was register. I just liked talking to people, and that's all you basically did at Starbucks. So
literally,
I was fine with it. But it was cool until eventually you just get kind of tired of. I feel like any job has an expiration date. I feel like, I mean, some people stay for a long time, but I don't know. Personally, I feel like every job I'm at, after a while, I don't want to be there for too long. Like, I get a little bored.
Exactly. That's my biggest thing. Every time I enter a job, I be telling myself, Aissatou, do not, and I mean do not, get complacent here. Don't think that this is your life. But the thing is, I can never really fully do that anyway, because my mom don't play that shit with me. She be like, these little bulos, that's what she calls them. Like, bulo is like a job. So she's like, these small jobs, like, don't take these seriously. Like, you're in school, your aims are higher than these.
She
like
told me that too.
Who, my mom?
Yeah.
See, because you know she be putting you to the... She's like, you guys are not, like, this is not your life. Like, you guys can't focus on this. You're young, so use this as just a way for you to have extra money. But don't take it seriously, because you're going to get trapped in a job that you're better than. Like, not to say that anyone's better or less than a job, but it's just
you
like,
can do better.
You make sure you're aiming high for yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? Don't get complacent just because you think you have money in the bank. Money don't last when it's in the bank. You spend it. So you need to make sure you're keeping money coming. That's what she tells me all the time. Make sure if you're spending money, money's coming in. You can't just be spending money and thinking you're going to be okay, because then it'll be gone eventually. So you have to keep bringing in money if you're going to spend.
Yeah.
That's why when I'm not making money, I don't move. If I start to become paralyzed.
You stay in one spot.
Like, even breathing costs money to me at that point. I'm spending $1, $2, $3. I'm like, no.
You literally are up all day. I don't know when you sleep, because every time I call you, you're awake doing something.
I know, right?
And if you're moving, it's for urgent reasons only.
It's like, I'm just like, no, because I'm not doing this. Like, but when money's come in, you see me.
Aissatou is out, and she is spending the dollars.
I don't care about spending money when I'm making money. I will spend. I will blah, 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 blah. Hey, check coming in, check. Like, I'm just going. So, yeah, basically, it's just like...
But I feel like you need to have... I feel like it's an important mindset that some people aren't as lucky enough to either have somebody tell them, teach them, or just know. Because I know a lot of people from Trader Joe's that were there for ages, and they were happy. I mean, not happy. They didn't like it, but they were not in any headspace of thinking like, oh, let me do something else. They were like, this is where I am. Let me worry about all the other things in my life, not this job. Like, this job isn't something that is... But maybe that's why people stay too, because people eventually end up having so much stress. They're just like, oh, thank God I have a job. Like, let me just keep this thing constant. Everything else in my life is twisting and turning.
I see exactly what you mean by that.
I feel like there was a hell of people at Trader Joe's like that. Did you have a lot of emo people at your job?
Emo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now that you're saying it out loud, we did. Like maybe not emo, because I don't know what the culture of emo signifies as, like, counts as emo. But you know, people with like gauges and like, you know, I don't know, shit like that though. Like, that ain't me, but like, you know, that type of stuff. Yeah, we definitely had people like that, but those people usually ended up being some of the nicest.
The nicest?
Oh my God, you're right. Because we had this one nigga who was like that, and he had a mohawk. And like, when I'm telling you mohawk, I mean real like the stereotypical Disney Channel crazy ass mohawk. Like, the shit would go up with the gel, each one a triangle, separate, flying through his head, and it was long too. But at first when he had the mohawk, I didn't really talk to him or come up to him or approach him. I'm sorry, you know, they say shit like that too, like things like that. It makes people not approach you or stuff. Like, if like true. You have that mindset.
I probably wouldn't either.
And I didn't, because I shouldn't have been so I don't think I judged him necessarily because I didn't care, but it just was like, it didn't seem like he would be anyone I would have a good conversation with or anything to talk about or relate to. Then eventually he decided to cut it off. I don't know why, but so
that's when you spoke to him.
That's what I finally I finally started talking to him after he cut it off. And the more I talked to him, I was like, wow, this nigga is cool. Like, he ended up being one of my favorite managers because he was a manager on top of it. He ended up being one of my favorite ones. I was like, he's lit. Like, he's so chill. Like, he's so relaxed. He don't care about, like, not that he don't care. He'll still care. Make sure everything's getting done. But, like, do it with on the greatest terms with you. Like, so, you know, some managers don't have that talent of being, like, able to, like, you know, like talk to you in a way where you like mess with them, but still make sure everything gets done. There's some managers who like talk, everyone loves them, but nothing ever gets done when they're around. And then there's some managers where only shit gets done, but everybody hates them. You know what I'm trying to say? Or we had this one manager who everybody hated, but he tried to get on people's good side by feeding us. And I'm just like, food will never get me.
That was one thing about
food will never get me to like you, though.
That got me excited to come to work, though.
Free food.
Because certain some of them, they'd always be in and out. Managers would never stay for too long, but there'd be some managers that would chef it up with rice and like a stew.
You are a rice hoe. Like you are a rice whore. Like you will shake that ass for a can of rice. Like you, as soon as you start talking about food, your first word is always, and there was rice. Like if there's a whole Thanksgiving tray of food and you're like, oh, so now you have Thanksgiving, what happened? It's like, yes, girl, we had rice. She will always start with the rice.
I love rice.
They would be chefing up rice.
But I feel like the food really, but then there was some managers that couldn't cook, and then I just became less excited.
Yeah. See, the thing is, even though whether or not the cooking was good or not, it was like they would also have hella snacks and random stuff to go with it. So it was just like, whatever.
I was always nervous to be like trying to try something or like open something, but I feel like a lot of people were just, I don't know. I was always, but honestly, it's probably because I was in high school.
But at the same time, oh yeah, that probably is why.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was just kind of like, the food was cool or whatever, but that was at a point in my life where I was only eating once a day anyway. Like, just digestively, my stomach wasn't doing the best.
Back then, especially high school, I feel like I was on a schedule. Morning, lunch, dinner, morning, lunch, dinner, morning, lunch, dinner, snack after school.
Oh yeah, you didn't play back in the day.
But now I feel like I only eat once a day too.
But I'm saying this was like a few years back still though. But at that time I was only eating once a day. So even though they were cooking and doing all this stuff, like I wasn't ever pressed because it was just like most times I wasn't hungry. So it was just like whatever. And two, I didn't like eating at Trader Joe's. One thing I learned about working is eating during your break or eating while you're there is so deadly because it's like you
get
eat
tired.
Exactly.
You want to lay down.
The minute I'm done with my meal, do you think I want to see your face anymore? Do you think I want to talk to you anymore? I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. So after a while, once I realized that about being at work and working and stuff, that if I eat, it makes me in a horrible mood for the rest of my shift, I stopped eating at work completely. Like, I would drink. Like, I was the kombucha queen. Kombucha, because you know they had good...
They had a good one.
Kombucha, but the thing is, in general, Trader Joe's has a lot of good drink options. Like, if I'm not feeling kombucha today, they have a good little sparkling iced tea. If I don't want sparkling iced tea today, they got plenty of different variations of orange juice if I need an energy boost. Now, it's COVID time. They got cayenne, ginger, drink. They got this drink. I was keeping always something new. And then they have a whole smoothie section. If you want a smoothie, get me a little smoothie. You know, the mango smoothie, the green smoothie, the strawberry chai smoothie, there's so many different smoothies, so the drink options were endless. So I would just drink all through my shift. But as far as eating, I stopped doing that unless it was the pre-made salad. They have this one pre-made salad that's so good. It's like cranberry.
No, not me.
Yeah, that you wouldn't like something like that. It's like cranberry, butternut squash, and a bunch of other stuff in there, and it's so good. And then when you add an avocado to it, whoo, child, I used to crush that. That one and the Mediterranean one. The Mediterranean one is also really good.
I used to spend a lot of my breaks eating the burritos.
The burritos were good, but they got old quick.
They did get old. Then I went to the mac and cheese. Because the mac and cheese was good if you put it in
Oliver eats that like it's water. Like he used to eat that. So kids
it.
love that mac and cheese. But after like feeding him that so much, I wasn't that interested in that mac and cheese. Like,
yeah, but I had already... after those two things, I realized.
Yeah, I can't eat here because it's just like I become a miserable person to work with too. Like I'm just like my coworkers are gonna hate me. Like my coworkers are not gonna like me if I eat here. So I just stopped, and then it just made the shift easier for me, and it gave me something to look forward to when I got home. You know what I'm trying to say? So what I would do too is maybe I'll work my whole shift, and right before I leave, I'll buy something to eat, and then I'll eat it when I get home. Or like if it's something that I can heat up, like that's handy, I'll heat it up before I leave and eat it in the car.
Okay.
Like, but my reward when I was leaving was now I get to eat.
Or the plantain chips, but that was mainly also that was something I would take to go. A lot of times to go, I would take plantain chips. Or mangoes. Those are my main things that I liked. Those 4 things. Tell me about a time you quit a job.
I quit? Okay, girl, the only job I've even had the opportunity to quit, because at this small age, girl, I'm only 21. Tell me a job you quit. Bitch, I done work like 2 to 3. I don't know how many I could quit. Oh, girl, the job you working at right now, technically I quit.
You did.
Yeah, technically.
And you left them high and dry too.
I'm wicked. But at the end of the day, let's say hypothetically they didn't need me anymore and they weren't willing to pay. Wouldn't they just leave me high and dry, no paycheck?
They would.
So, point blank, period. Y'all gonna be all right. Yeah. I'm not taking food out your mouth. I'm not taking pay out. If anything, I'm giving you back money. You don't have to pay me no more. So, like, all that shit, I was just like, fuck it. Like, I need to do what's best for me.
How did you tell them? You just told them one day.
Yeah, I texted them a message because the thing was I was waiting to ever see them or something, and it kept taking too long to see them. And one of the people I work for was never around. Like for me she's never there. So I was like I need to tell them both, and I didn't want to like break it to one of them and not the other. I wanted them to be able to know at the same time so they can discuss too between each other, because obviously it's a joint decision and anything they make. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't leaving them in the position where it's like, oh damn, like both of y'all understand the situation. Now you guys can start discussing right away and start figuring out what y'all want to do. Because I gave them 2 weeks notice too, so that they could figure out what they were trying to do. But at the end of the day, I was telling them I'm out at this point. Like, I'm not coming back. So I did like my mom, she be set me up, but she'd be like, text them this, and this. And then I wrote out a little paragraph, sent it to my mom. She approved it. And then I sent it to them.
Yeah, guys, that job she left, I took it. But this is my last.
Then you left them high and dry. So you want to talk about me, but you left them high and dry too.
Honestly, I don't know what their plans are either, because they haven't talked to me, and I don't know if they have figured out a new nanny. But also, I'm thinking about it. I don't know how their kids feel about it, because I feel like they like me.
But you know what? They definitely do like you, and also on the parents' part, I know they don't like switching who they bring to the kids because of that. Because the kids start getting attached and liking you. You know what I'm trying to say? Because they told me that too when I was there, that they didn't want, like, once I was starting, they were like, oh, we just want to make sure everything's good because we don't want to switch up on the kids. Like, we want to make sure.
At the beginning of when you started?
Yeah. And I did it anyway. At the end of the day, what can I do?
Yeah, honestly. It's also a far-ass drive, honestly. Like, the
oh my God,
the other 2 kids I babysit, they are it's way better. Even though they're all in DC, it's a much better drive. They're like in the heart of DC. They need to find a DCian to take care of their kids.
A DCian.
Yep.
But we a DMVian.
Yeah, we can make it work, but
yeah, we did make it work. But it's just like at the end of the day, like I gotta go. Like I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Yeah. What do you hate about babysitting? I feel like for me, the one thing I feel like
no, we need to have a whole episode about this because I can't.
Right?
I cannot.
You could talk a lot about
I
babysitting.
cannot get started.
Okay. Let's make that an episode.
My main thing is when the kids be too close in age. Cut it there. Cut it there. Cut it there.
Okay. Do you have a horror story about interviewing from jobs?
No, I'm a great interviewer. One thing about me, I will come into an interview and finesse the fuck. Bro, what? I'm a great interviewer.
She usually has charm, but I feel like if she needed to, she could just crank it up.
I'm a great interviewer. Like, that's not a problem for me.
That's good.
Like, no. And I'm never stressed going into it either. I'm just like, oh, yeah, I have this little old thingy I gotta do real quick.
I feel like it's hit or miss for me.
Really?
I'll have days where
I've never missed is my issue, though. Any job I've ever wanted, I've gotten. So it's just like...
But I can see that happening for you because you're very good at talking to people normally, and I just feel like if you did it with a purpose...
Because you know what the thing about interviewing is, though? You're just supposed to go there and big up yourself. So you want me to big up myself? I spend my day doing that. I will come out and say, ha ha, this Aissatou. Come, take her now. She high profit. And I'll make myself sound like, whether you take me or not, I got shit lined up. So you better hurry up. Like, you better do it quick. Because I got like, and the thing about me, I'm never worried too because, yeah, I usually am actually in that position when I'm interviewing of like, if you don't take me, I have like 5 other people asking me to come. So it's like, I've never stressed too much. I feel like, and you can sense that when I'm interviewing too, is like, I don't care whether or not you say yes or no.
I see.
And even when they say no, they usually always come back. They'll be like, oh yeah, we'll think about da-da-da, we're not sure, da-da-da. A few months down the line, I'm already into a new job. They talking about something. Hey, are you still, can you?
You be just getting...
All the time, they come running back. I'm like, no, I'm gone, bye. I told you to hurry up. People's calling me. People's begging me to come. I can hook you up with somebody else now, but it ain't gonna be me.
Oh, by the way, what's that kid, the kids' names? The Indians. Do they still want help during December? You had mentioned it one time.
They said they might, but they're not sure.
Okay.
That's what they told me. Okay. She said she'll let me know, but they don't even know yet what their plans are fully. But they did ask me to come recently. Well, I'm going there on Saturday, but they asked.
You are damn, I don't know what the word is, but you are dedicated to this paper.
That's what it. Hey,
hey,
that's what it is. That's what it is. It's the paper. You bring the paper, I bring Aissatou.
Because honestly, you could just take that and spend it at the airport.
Thank you, exactly. But I was like, yeah. That's what I was thinking when they asked me to come. I was like, oh, and I'm leaving the next day. All right, I'll come through.
Literally.
Because I told them I'm leaving that Sunday, and usually, I come on Sunday. She was like, oh, can you come Saturday instead?
Really
Mind you, I'm working in the morning.
For someone,
mind you, I'm working in the morning too, with somebody else.
Wow. With the morning, did you leave?
No, the morning, Saturday morning, and then right after that, go to them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good money.
So I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'll slide. But soon I'm about to raise my price with them because they've been playing with me. I've been letting them slide because they're not white.
What are they paying you? 25? 22? Stop it. 20?
I swear to God. One. And I had to finesse for that. The one.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Okay, so now that you've been in the workforce for a little while, even though small age, we've had like 2 to 3 jobs each. What is your thoughts on working in jobs and stuff?
I hope to not need to have a job after this. I hope like in the next two years, I won't be working a job and I can live off my investments. But the thing about jobs though, I feel like I needed them. I feel like they taught. Well, honestly, I feel like school and jobs kind of teach you the discipline aspect of things and working towards something without having to think about it yourself. Like they'll give you things to work on, and you'll kind of get the skills you need to be able to make something, which I think was great. I feel like I needed it. Also, I learned people skills. I feel like, especially, I feel like jobs taught me people skills because during COVID, you don't really talk to many people, and I feel like my people skills have diminished a bit. Like, I'm not saying I can't talk to people, but I just feel like they have decreased. And I feel like a large part about jobs is customer service and a bunch of things. I feel like they were good, but I just feel like I kind of feel like jobs are not for me because feel like I just don't want to work for somebody. I'd rather make something of myself and have my own company or my own whatever it is I make and see that go to something versus working for somebody else and seeing their thing come to something, like helping them make whatever goal they have in mind become bigger. Because I feel like personally, if I want to do something, I put my time, I put my effort, I think about A through Z, what needs to be done, and I try and make it all go right. And I feel like I can do it. I feel like I'm very good at making things. And YouTube, girl, this podcast, I feel like we can do it. And I just feel like
you said YouTube?
Be making me YouTube, because I was like, you do other things, but then I was like, and this podcast. This is a perfect example. But I just feel like seeing myself do things and other things that I'm interested in and seeing them through or working on them has just made me feel like I don't really want to be at a job that's paying me a certain amount that I could be making more. Or if I bet on myself, later on it could be like OD, and I'm okay with the risk. But then sometimes I'd be feeling stressed about the risk just because as a foreigner, I'll feel like so much weight as like...
They make it sound so unattainable.
That too. But I also feel like as a foreigner, I'll be stressed because I'm like, if it doesn't go well, I truly don't want to make life harder for my parents. I feel like life was already hard for them and they got to this point. Why would I want to dial it back for them? Like I just, as a kid, I wanted to make it back. I always want to, everybody always wants to improve themselves. So that's a bit, that's the only thing that be stressing me out about not trying to not having jobs be my end goal, because jobs are like secure and whatnot. But I just feel like jobs taught me a lot that I want to use to start my own thing.
Okay. And I feel like for me, the main thing is the main problem I have with jobs is the lack of, like, not passion is the word I'm looking for, but like the lack of like fulfillment. Like there's never a point where you're working a job and you finally feel fulfilled is my problem. Like I won't go to work and my boss tell me that, oh, like this is perfect, this is great, like we love what you do. Obviously you're not getting a raise, but your paycheck will come in as it usually does. Like, and I feel like fulfilled, like damn, I got a pat on the back. Yes. I just feel like these motherfuckers, I just did all this and all I got was a pat on the back. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just like I never really feel.
I feel like you're not in control of what you bring for yourself as an employee. It's always in the control of somebody else.
Exactly. So that's my main issue with working a job that I didn't like, that I still to this day, because even now we've been working on this podcast for however long we've been working on it. Mind your business. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, but really it was a short time.
We've been working on this podcast for however long we've been working on it, and every time we get something accomplished with it, I feel no matter how much stress it caused me to get there, no matter how much time I put into it, no matter what I did to get to where I am, I'm always like, damn, like I did it. Like I feel fulfilled. I haven't even gotten any money. Yeah. And I feel a fulfillment that money can't even give me. So therefore, why would I continue working at these places that can never give me true pleasure or happiness or true feeling like I'm living my life for a reason? Like, I never go to work and feel like I'm doing something for a reason. Every time I'm at work, I'm like, why? Why do we do this? Why? And there's so many things, too, that you're told to do at work that sometimes you don't agree with, or sometimes as an employee, you know isn't the best way to do it. You're like, bruh, this is not the good way. Like, I know a better way we could do this. But you don't have a choice because you're the employee. You're not the owner. So you can't just be walking around telling people what to and not to do. Yeah. You see what I'm trying to say? So I'm just like, that was my main issue with jobs, and that's why I'm willing to work for myself or do whatever it takes to do whatever I want to do, because I know that at least when I'm done, I'm going to feel like I did something regardless of money. I can be broke. I'm fine. I've been broke this long, and I'm alive, ain't I?
Yeah.
Like, that's my biggest thing, too, when broke people are scared to take risk and stuff. I'm like, you're already broke. Where else can what is the fear? What is, like, you've been broke for this long. Is it really going to hurt you to be broke for a bit longer? Yeah. You already been broke. And let's say I finally make money, right? And I'm making substantial amounts of money. And I lose it all. And now I'm back to square one. I've been doing this broke life, so now I know what to do at least once I'm back to broke. The problem with what would happen to a rich person who's born rich and generationally rich, what would happen if they went broke? They wouldn't know what to do. At least I know what broke's like.
That's a good point. I was telling my dad about that. My dad was like, oh, why don't you, he was saying, like, you don't really ask for too many things. Oh, like, do you need this and that? And I was just kind of like, I feel like as a child, he was saying, do you need money? And I was like, I feel like it's better to let me be broke while you're here so I could teach myself how to not be broke. True. And have y'all as a safety net versus y'all trying to throw money in my face and make sure I'm good, but me not learning anything. And they were just like, whoa. I never thought about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let me be broke and know I have a safety net and do whatever, so I can fully take the risk and know that.
How to get out of it later or anything like that. That's what I feel like.
But thing about African parents, I feel like I'm just gonna generalize and say African parents because I don't care. But I feel like with them, it's kind of like, no, like, you always have to be set up right. Like, when you make a mistake, it directly looks bad on us, instead of okay, let's let this person in the family be the person to make mistakes. That way the rest of us can stay on our P's and Q's. And if their mistake ends up being beneficial, like, I feel like that's more of a rich mentality, to like be smart and divide and conquer. Like, we're the bill payers, you guys are the risk takers. So then that way we know we're good regardless, but this way we can still come up big. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, that would be a smarter way to think. I feel like if I was a broke parent, that would be my mentality. I need to stay in line, do everything the so-called traditional way, work a job, do all that stuff, pay bills, and let the kids and, like, everyone else do whatever, do anything. I can also
see as a parent being stressed doing that, because either because it requires faith. It requires knowing or hoping at least that shit's not gonna go really bad and then you're in a worse position. I can see that as a parent too, especially as an African parent, always wanting to
make sure, and then I think it's also like that immigrant fear mentality, you know, like the thing of like, you moved here with nothing. It took you so long to even get the basics of like an apartment.
And you don't want to feel that again.
Exactly. So and then you watch so many horror stories. They
be thinking one horror story is their life.
Exactly, that this could be me next like
day, tomorrow.
Exactly. Like, my mom was telling me this one story about this lady that she used to know back in the day, who started running a business in the African community of sending money back home. So you would pay her a little extra, plus give her the money you want sent back home, and she would send it back home. Like, she would mail it back home, or however it is that she can transfer funds to people back home, she would do it, right? But then the business started getting so big, she had a lot of money. So then she bought a house. And
with the money that she's supposed to send?
No, with the money she's been making. Because, you know, people have to pay her to send the money.
Why so she's also making send their own money? I'm confused what the benefit is.
Because she's the one who knows how to do it. She's the one who has the system. She's the one who has, like, the network and everything to do it. Like, you can't do it.
Okay.
Or if you were to do it, it would take really long.
Got it.
Whereas she can just do it. You can just come here, pay her little fee, and then she'll send it for you.
Makes sense.
Right? So, and even if you go to like Western Union, they charge you a little bit of fee too. So it's just like the same thing, different day, right? So her business started running up. She started going crazy or whatever, right? She's making a lot of money till she buys this big house, like millions of dollars worth house, right?
In America?
Because she's making that much money. Like, she's making millions. So then, that's how they got her. They deport her, arrest her, everything.
What?
Yeah.
Wait,
no. They didn't even deport her. They put her in jail.
Why?
They put her in jail, and then after, I guess, the jail sentence, they deport her.
Stop. Because why?
Because she was making all this money but not paying taxes. And she didn't know she had to pay taxes.
No.
Or she didn't know too that she didn't know too that if she bought a house, they would find out. Because it's like they will find out because it's like, how does this person who has this income level able to afford a house? That doesn't make sense. So then they'll start checking your income and things aren't adding up. Now they see you're making money without paying taxes.
Yeah, taxes will get you.
Exactly. So then they got her. So then it was just like, oh, that's a horror story of don't send money back home between people, or don't When I'm like, when my mom told me the story, I'm like, she's dumb. What she should have done was kept all that money, and she got a business sending money back home. Bitch, send that shit back home. Build a house in Africa. No one's checking your taxes in Africa. No one's checking what you're up to in America. Why do you think every Nigerian scammer makes hella money and then moves to Nigeria? Because they come, they run it up, they do all the legal shit, and then they head home because you can't do shit to them after that. They done made it. It's like when you're playing tag and you make it to home base. Nigga, you gonna have to catch me while I'm here. Like, oh my God. So it was just like, so I was just like, girl, like, you are like, it was just so idiotic to me that she would do that. And I was just, but it was idiotic to me as somebody who's raised here and understands, like, yeah, they're watching every payment you make. You make big purchases.
They will play about taxes. They will throw you in jail.
They will throw you in jail, and they didn't understand that back then. This is like the first wave of immigrants. So they're not they don't know. So it's all those trials and tribulations the first wave went through of getting deported and going to jail is now all the other ones who never went to jail or got deported are like, don't do this. I heard a friend who did this. Oh, don't do this. I heard a friend. So now it brings paranoia where they're always scared they're going to be the next one to be deported or in jail. You know what I'm trying to say? So now it's like they put that paranoia onto their kids, and then their kids aren't able to move as freely as they should be able to in literally the country they were born, because their parents are so paranoid that something bad is going to happen to them. Like literally, and the smallest thing I do, my mom be like, oh my God, the whole time you were there, I was praying. Don't let your African mom have a dream the night before you want to go out.
They be like, I had a dream.
Don't go.
You did this. Are you okay? Did something bad gonna happen?
This would be my mom in the car on the way to school. She'd be like, you know what, Aissatou.
Car rides be treacherous. The whole time is a lecture about something. Every single car.
She gonna sit there. She gonna be looking at me serious too. Serious. She's talking about some. Last night I had a dream. I'm like, girl, I'm okay. What you mean you had a dream? She's like, no, bro. Like, but one of my friends, her mom was notorious for accurate dreams. Her dreams, she dreamed 9/11 before it happened. They were supposed to go to Africa the week of 9/11, and she had a dream, and she said, no, I had a dream the world was ending. We can't go. Because she saw fire and like a bunch of stuff. She's like, we can't go. So she canceled the trip. Right when she canceled the trip, boom, 9/11. Mind you, they was going to Africa. But like, they wasn't going to be going to New York or going through there or whatever. But at the same time, like, she literally predicted 9/11. Or like, in general, when my friend would come to school, she'd be like, her mom would tell her before school, I had a dream something will happen to you today at school. Be careful. Watch out. And you know, of course, she's like, whatever, mommy. Like, you just be doing too much. I'm going to live my life. Then she'll come back, like, somebody smacked me at school. Somebody did something to me at school. Somebody did it at school. I'm like,
After a while, I would stop going to school those days.
Because she was too... I was like, girl, have you dreamed everything about me? What you been seeing in my future? Like, literally, I'm dead. But I feel like another main thing I learned about jobs, too, was just... I feel like having a job and finally working, it makes you understand your parents a bit more. Still, they still be tripping. They still be doing too much. But you're like, damn, that's why she told me stop pumping on my soap. That's why she told me don't do this, don't do that, stop spending money here, because now you see for yourself that literally every single object in your household somebody paid for.
From the work they did that day.
The smallest thing that's in your house, even having carpet on the floor, they had to pay for the carpet. Even forks and knives in the sink that you use for plates, cutlery, they bought that. Like, I'm like, you bought this. This was money.
Literally.
Because it's there for so long. Like, at least it's a one-time purchase, but it's still a purchase. So it's just like you just start peeping like all the stuff that costs money, like finding out that toilet paper costs money. I'm like, wait, you mean it's not just in the closet in the cupboard? It's not just sitting there ready for me to go
drop it off for us every month?
Like somebody. You mean I have to buy water? I have to buy food every week? Like once the food runs out, the first time I buy it, I have to go again. I'm like, wait, what?
I have to actually make something shake in the kitchen. I can't just like buy
it.
like
literally, or then it's like, or two, like every time like your parents would buy something and it would kind of hurt them to spend the money, but they were like, well, fuck it. Like, you know when you're standing at checkout and you can tell they're like, bruh. And then they swipe their card. Yeah. Now you know that feeling of being at the checkout and be like, bruh, and swipe your card. Yeah. I'm like, God damn, why I gotta do this? So it's just like stuff like that is mainly what it taught me. And it also just taught me, like, I really realized my privilege after working. My privilege was screaming at me once I started working.
Why?
Because it's like you realize how many bad positions people are in, or how many people just have horrible parents who didn't raise them right and tell them certain things about life that they should do and not do. And all types of things. And then also it was just like I realized, for example, I'm at work because I'm in school, right? Or like even you literally worked on campus. Like you're at work because you're at school. You're in school and you just need money. The things that you're spending money on is not real stuff. It's just like, you know, going out some weekends. Exactly.
Starbucks.
Maybe your parents are not making you pay bills, but maybe there's like one bill that they're like, you pay for this bill. Like, this bill is your bill, but everything else, obviously, we got you. Like, my mom had that. Like, for me, it was like everything else I didn't have to pay. Like, I don't pay my phone. I don't pay, what's it called? Obviously, rent. I don't pay nothing. I don't pay... Well, actually, after a while, I started paying for groceries just because I was at the grocery store. Like, it just started making sense for me to bring it home because I'm here all day. So that one I did start paying for, but it wasn't a big expense, like, especially since I was literally there all day. So it was just like, and then I would refuse to go to the grocery store if I wasn't at work. If you didn't get me during those 2 days I was there and give me a full list breakdown.
You worked 2 days at Trader Joe's?
At the beginning, I worked more. I slowly started dwindling the amount of days. Like, towards the end, I was at 2 days until I just stopped showing up and I stopped coming.
Okay.
So then it's just like, so it's just like, okay, so this is my one bill, but like, my mom would be like, okay, car insurance, you just pay your car insurance, everything else, we're going to keep it the same. So I'm like, okay, cool. So you're just working there so you can pay maybe one bill and then everything else is basically social. Like maybe you're putting gas in your car, you're going outside, but that's social too because the amount of gas you put in your car depends on how much socializing you're doing. If you're just going to work and back, the amount of times you're putting gas in your car is probably low, you know? So... yeah, so just small stuff. Whereas when I got to work, the people there are working because they have, when I say no option, this is life or death. Coming to this job 5 days a week, because you know Trader Joe's too, your max is 5 days. You can only come 5 days a week. So
are you being serious? I never knew
that. Yeah. You can only come 5 days total.
Even if you picked up a shift, they wouldn't allow it?
You're not supposed to pick up overtime.
Oh, yeah,
5 days, 8 hour shift. Exactly. They don't like it. Yeah. So you can only work 5 days, but coming to this job 5 days a week is mandatory for you because you got bills to pay. Mind you, some niggas is they're African. You know they're sending half their paycheck home. You know, and then people have kids. If the kids want to eat this week, you better show up. If the kids want to eat this week, you better be at work. Or some people are formerly imprisoned. If you want to stay on probation, you better come to work. Because you're on probation. Your probation stems on you having a job. You need to have a job. So it's like all those little factors of people don't have a choice but to be here. But to be here. So it was just like that made me realize my privilege of like, I'm so lucky that I not only have a parent/parents who are able to pay for things for me and do things for me to the point where if I wanted to, I could never come here again and I would still be able to live a fairly decent life of like, I'd have clothes and fairly nice clothes. I'd have a phone. Yeah. I would have everything I need to live regardless of working It's just that the extra stuff that I would like to buy that I can't ask my parents to buy is what this gives me. Of like, you know, if I want to go out to eat, I can't constantly be asking my parents to pay me to go out to eat. If I want to buy a little new fit, but it's not time to go clothes shopping yet. Like, you know, there's a time of year you're supposed to be going clothes shopping. So if you want to buy between those times, you better have your own funds. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's like those type of stuff. It really piqued my privilege of like, don't be so quick to judge people, and don't be so quick, and be quicker to realize how lucky you are and how you've been put in a position where you can gain more in life because you already started off a bit better than a lot of people.
Yeah.
And mind you, I'm still under a lot of people too, but it's still important to know that you're above like where a lot of people's starting line is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say? So that when you see those people whose starting line is behind you, you can help them too.
The saddest part though is the way the paycheck comes and goes at the end of the 2 weeks. Stay tuned for the next episode.